Fuck me back, you welcome me back. You wanna know till you fall, I can't give a damn. You want fuck me back, you welcome me back. You wanna dance sad, you should welcome me back. You wanna fuck me back, you welcome me back. You wanna know till you fall, I can't give a damn. You want fuck me back, you welcome me back. You wanna dance sad, you should welcome me back. You should welcome, you should welcome, you should welcome, you should welcome me back. You should welcome, you should welcome, you should welcome, you should welcome me back.
Welcome to Here's What We Know. Donald J. Trump is your new U.S. president. I was going to say your new 47th president, but there's only one of those, and he is it. And here is what we know. What are y'all thoughts? React. I know the world is in an uproar as if that the country is in an uproar as if the majority of the people that voted didn't vote for him. But let's talk about it.
I saw it coming.
Not you first, Jeff, because you got some views. You hold
Okay,
on, my man. I'm coming to you, brother. Hold on. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, so we were tracking it while it was going down. We kind of knew how it was going to turn out. I more so it was more so like a thing of hope, and I think it made me like understand Obama's campaign so much more with the hope, and it's just like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm not sure if it was not an amount of time. I just wish she would have just stayed true to her credentials and just who she is, like for real. Because
Who
I
is she?
like I'm sorry, everything she's done up to this point, like to even get to the point
Who
of
is she?
VP. Oh, Kamala Harris. Sorry, is that what you want her name? Because I thought we was
Yeah.
already on the subject. Just her experience in the political game, like period. Like Donald J. Trump has no experience, so that was your lane, and I just wish she would have stayed in it. That's all. She kind of got dragged into it with the celebs and stuff, and I'm just like, no, actually talk to the people, talk. Like, don't do that. Don't distract them. Just talk. Yeah, have them come out, like, but like, don't have them perform. Like, like have them support. I don't know, but just don't like. Stay true. Stay in your lane. That's it. That's all I
But
wanted to
you
say.
don't think I need to deflect? I only got 2 months to do this.
I
Y'all
understand.
kind of threw this on me.
Grab our attention. That's why I said don't have them perform and let them know like what the
Yeah.
message is. Like you can't. I'm
Go ahead
sorry.
on
Like
out there and shake your booty real quick, Megan Thee Stallion.
like what does that have to do with anything? It's just I'd rather you have Meg speak on being like make your campaign about who and what you are for real. It wasn't rocket science. I swear it wasn't. But it's just like it was like empowerment of females because that's what they don't want to see. They're not ready for it. I hate to say it. We saw it already. Donald has beat 2 females to
Yeah.
get into office. Like, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So it was just like you were supposed to bring a different energy, representing all that comes with who you're claiming to be. You're
Right.
claiming to be a black woman. Black women figure it out.
Right.
Like,
I'll
you
give
know
you
what
some
I
more
mean?
time. I'll give you some more time, shot for sure. But
Mhm.
this is a long topic, so I'm gonna come back to you. Oh, what you got?
Bruh. It's been somber. Like this was a tough and
That
dumber
smells
debate.
good.
And it was an easier choice for us to make. However, we didn't. For what we're arguing for, um, it makes it's a tough one. Like because on one side you have people that's for the that's looking for economic growth and through rhetoric of language that they don't understand. Tariffs, for instance, whatever. Not truly understanding what a tariff is, you assume that you're going to get a tax break from it. However, tariffs is something that we've used my whole industry in manufacturing, engineering. That's the right to get goods and services from to and fro. Most of the time, like for instance, when I was in automotive, a lot of the chips, a lot of the microchips or whatever, they coming from China, right? So most of the time it'd be the person that's going to pay the most to get that product. So if they raise taxes on those here, at the end result, the cost for us to buy it, or my company, your company, whoever you are as an individual, whoever's going to consume it, the cost rises for you as well. The issue is the end user, and the end user of the vehicle, the car. That's why you have your car prices going up. The end user, the car, or whatever source of good it is, has to pay more to get that product because it costs us way more to have to make and manufacture that product.
Okay. Last point right here.
But yeah, huh?
Last point right here. I gotta go to Jeff.
Oh, okay, my fault. All right, but
Oh, you good?
yeah, but I'm really disappointed in what choice we made, man. Especially for if we want to grow as a country.
Okay.
That's it.
Appreciate that. Jeff, Sharice and Omari answered my first question that I haven't asked yet. Are you satisfied with the outcome?
Um, satisfied is tough. 'Cause I have my own reasons for voting the way that I did, but like I would like for her to have been taken seriously just to make it. It seems like she was set up for failure in the first place, but I also don't think that she was the right candidate to go against Trump because every time that somebody asked her a serious question, she would stumble and then flip back to something that was not relevant. So it just sounded like word salad and nothing got answered. And I feel like people picked up on that.
Mm,
So I know for me, just like Shah was saying, like if you're gonna do something, just be authentic. But it's hard to do that if you don't have anything. And I just feel like she was put there and nobody wanted her there because it seemed like her whole party just didn't want her anyway. Like at no
hey,
point during this whole thing did she get set up for any type of success. And she had one job and she failed at it because she was put in charge of the border as soon as she got here. And this is one of the worst influxes of border crisis stuff that we've had in recent history. So like we gave you a job, you didn't do it, and now you want to run the whole country. She raised $1 billion and is still $200 million in debt
was that
because
her
she was doing.
job? Was that her job as vice president, or
That's the
was that
job
her
they gave
job
her.
for the past
Mm,
4 years?
yeah, that was her job for the past
Okay.
4 years.
Okay.
That was the thing that she got put in charge of.
Okay.
You know how they give them all something to do, but that's like
I didn't know they gave him
I don't
nothing
know.
to do. I didn't
Yeah,
hear from Joe Biden until it was time for him to be president.
I know.
Yeah, but but for
But he
what would you
also
say
can't remember
that
what he had for breakfast, so that makes sense too.
that but would you also say that yes, it is your you are the champion of the project,
Hmm.
for instance, as a project manager. So if you are the champion of a project, you have to get multiple votes by those individuals that are going to be doing the work. Also, you have to get buy-in from all organizations that's going to be um, okay with you doing the work. So you could be the lead of a project, but if nobody wants to move on your project, it won't move at all.
Mm.
That's true. The only caveat to that is, particularly with Biden, they have experience doing vetoes and stuff for the executive branch. So, like, forcing something down somebody's throat is not foreign to them. So, like, yeah, if you're trying to get buy-in or whatever, it screamed like a lack of leadership. She didn't know how to get people on her side because there's a bunch of stuff when she was doing the vice president, like when she was on the ticket, a bunch of her lead aides quit because she didn't know how to talk to people. It was always like, oh, nobody's taking me serious, this, that, and the third. But you got to have people buy in, just like you said. If I'm
Hmm.
expecting you to run the country and you can't cooperate with people that is on your team that look at things the way that you want to do them, then that's an issue. I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing that killed her though is like right before the election day, somebody asked her, um, what her thoughts on where Biden's policies were, and if she would change anything, and she said no.
Mm.
It's it's
Hmm.
almost like I went to the grocery store and spent $100 and I got like four things that 4 years ago wouldn't have cost me more than $40.
Right.
So if you're telling me that it's going to be more of the same or worse, I'm good.
Mm.
And that's what the majority of the country felt.
Sharice, how do you feel her being a woman? How do you feel like? Do you feel that like that played a big role in her losing the election?
Absolutely. Do you okay, can I ask you this? Do you think the world is really prepared for a female to run
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah, they prepare for them to run everything else.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
do y'all wholeheartedly feel that way though?
Oh no, one
No,
Wholeheartedly.
thousand,
I,
one thousand
I I
percent,
said
Exactly.
yeah, yes,
1,000%.
yes, I do.
I
Okay,
They
don't.
run
you
run
feel that
everything
way.
else.
Yeah,
Yes, I
like
do.
I've had most of my bosses have been female in the military and in civilian life, and there's other countries that
And
have
how's
female
that business
presidents.
how's that business going?
It's
Like
going well.
when they're the leaders, how does it look?
I
Like how
Yeah, I mean I work for Comcast. Most of it's fine usually, right? I had one bad boss, happened to be female. I have a boss that's female now, and it's
mhm.
well, my number stayed high, and like the store's doing well. So, and
Yeah,
all
so
of, the whole time I've been there, this one lady's been the supervisor of all my bosses. So she obviously knows what she's doing. I think that it's more about the person than anything else at this point.
mhm,
You know what I
mhm,
mean?
Mm.
They
mhm.
gave Donald Trump nobody to run against twice. Because even the first time, if you can't control your husband or at least keep it under wraps, how am I supposed to give you control of nuclear codes?
You know what?
I'm just saying that's
The
we keeping it
precious.
real. We keeping it real.
You know
If you know
what?
you married a person who has no respect for you or is just gonna be wild, right?
Let's
Then you gotta
go.
either do your part or keep it under wraps. Keep
You
it
taking it
out
down
of
the
the news.
street that you don't want to go down, brother.
My
Because why?
man,
Like
my man
why is
Jeff
that
is in the
even?
building.
I'm
Why
just
Yeah.
would
saying.
that ever be on her? Why would that ever be on her? But I
I'm
get what
not.
you're saying. But
I'm
why would
not.
that ever
I'm
be
not.
on
I'm
her?
not. Hold
He's
on.
the president, Jeff.
Hold on.
If he
Time out.
tells somebody to shut your mouth, let her in. That
He's
seriously,
right. You're right. So you're right on. You the president, right? That means that he could have picked anybody. He literally just picked the person outside of his office because she wasn't handling business.
Jeff. If I'm not let's be real.
I'm
If I'm
just.
not what
I'm,
you want, ain't nothing gonna stop you. Are you kidding
that's
me? Y'all do that all
that's.
the time.
Listen. You know
I could
me.
be everything, and y'all would still go outside.
I.
nice.
Ain't no
Why
facts
What are
that?
over
you
here.
saying?
I'm
What are you
saying.
saying?
I'm
Don't put
saying
that
he.
We
on
see it
her.
all the
Don't put
we
No.
that
see
on
it
her.
all the
What
That
I'm
was
time.
like
saying
a
is that
discipline. That was
you
like a discipline, which is
on
what
both
y'all do.
parts. On both parts.
No, mainly y'all.
No,
Because if we
because
lock in
it's.
and we for real, we there for the most part. You
I
got some
hear
bad
you.
apples. I'm not about to
I
say that,
I
but
hear
for the
you.
most part,
I hear you. But
especially
I'm
when y'all
saying
got a
it.
little power, y'all don't know how to act. We're seeing that with Trump. So,
Okay, but like counterpoint, right? Obama
mm,
and Michelle were tight, and whatever
uh,
arguments they had, they came unified. So that's something that they worked on together because both parties were holding their end up. That's what
hmm.
I'm saying.
Okay, and what is Michelle?
He's gonna do it. What she
And
was
what is
in charge.
Michelle?
She was the vice president. I mean, not the first lady. Excuse me. She was
What is she
essentially the vice
though?
president. She's black.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, but you ain't hear nothing crazy about Obama stepping out and nothing. When we're nerds, when we're floor, you're
No,
gonna shine.
but that's
Like,
my
so it's
point.
just like
But that's my
they're
point.
not that.
I they
Like
got to be
they're
a
not
unit, is what
that.
I'm saying. They got to be a unit.
Last time I heard,
If
weren't they almost an arranged like marriage almost?
yeah, I don't. You don't think
Clinton
that?
and his
You don't think?
because
Yeah,
isn't
but you don't think
scandal
Michelle and
loosely
Barack were?
based on them?
Yo,
I
you
mean,
talking
loosely.
about a unit, but Donald Trump and his wife is not a unit. That junk is
No,
not
they're
Not at
even
not.
real.
all.
But it's
But
Yeah.
chaos.
what
But
what are you
again, they gave
talking
him no.
about this unity?
What I'm saying is that they gave him nobody to run against.
No,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
Okay,
saying.
We've been established that he went
we
against two
understand.
females.
We understand that. We
When
Yeah.
understand
and
that
the going
it's
back to the
hard
other
to
thing was
quickly
like,
try to get yourself together.
yeah, it was
Go ahead,
more
Jeff.
about like with Clinton, he was wild. We already knew he was not faithful and just out there, right? But you could have done something to prevent a national scandal.
What?
I don't know, something.
Like
anything.
she's not Michelle. Like that, I don't know how. I don't know no other way to put it.
I got you. So I hear what Jeff is saying. Jeff is being facetious.
She doesn't have that sting.
Jeff is being facetious, but I think what
Mhm.
he's speaking to what he's speaking to is the lack of control that she had in her household that still left the bad taste in people's mouths because they still remember that, right? And so her being his wife, that, you know what I mean, she's a part of that. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a particular control in your house, and if you can't keep particular things under wraps, then how can you be trusted to control a country? I think that might be a little bit of a false parallel, but I definitely can see where someone would think that way and in their mind be rational in their way of thinking in that regard. I
Yeah, I'm
hear him.
saying that that's what influenced the voting that way. Like it might not be true, but that's what influenced that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that makes no sense. Again, that goes by how America votes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
very superficial, very very surface level,
Right.
very immediate, and we
Yeah.
need immediate things. We don't look long term.
No.
Yeah. So to your point, I will say, and we learned this, the three of us, Omari, myself, and Jeff, we were in the same history class. And this is when we learned, I mean, I'm sure we've learned about it earlier than that, but we learned about the electoral college and how the electoral college, how the popular vote plays into that. And so it wasn't just like there was a clean sweep. Okay, it was a clean sweep. He swept on in the Senate. He swept in the electoral vote, and he won in the popular vote. So that may have been how the popular vote votes, but the electoral college, they voted in that way as well, and so did the Senate. So that's something to be thought about as well. So what do you
Also,
guys say? What do you guys say to what Kamala could have done better in order to win the election? Could she have done anything better than what she had done?
I would have said stick to the facts. Not so much showboat. I mean, not so much showmanship. Showmanship of who you know and how many people want to be on your side, but what are your actual views and how we going to get across this bridge? To make sure that America feels that warm and fuzzy feeling that
Mm,
we don't feel even right now.
mm,
I I agree to that, and I think like it's kind of echoing both you and like and Shaw's point. Like you have to have some level of authenticity, but like I feel like America wants somebody that at least has a plan. Like if it's a bad plan, at least it's a plan with Trump. That's what it sounds like people have been voting like. Whenever she talks about policy and stuff, it's very vague. You know what I mean? There's no
Hmm.
clear direction for it. So what am I voting for? Because if things are going to stay the same, and I know that life is harder now than it felt like, even if it's not, it just feels that way. What are we doing? You
mm,
know what I mean?
mm.
Americans are lazy, bro. You gotta put it out there for them, and then the public will
But
eat it up. But
again,
we did.
you know what I do agree with, Jeff? The fact
Mhm.
that you brought up the that they kind of threw her into
Yeah,
to the like to this
yeah, just threw
space
it to the wolves. Yeah.
rather quickly when on Trump's side they already had this kind of steam engine of what they was going to allow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where she has to now combat and have a rebuttal for what is potentially going to be allowed in this thing that hasn't come yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's very
Mm-hmm.
like very much. Oh shoot, I didn't. It's like whoa, finding
We
out
didn't
that
prep
I
for that.
gotta.
Yeah. I wasn't
Yeah,
ready
I
for
didn't
this.
prepare for having a rebuttal. He's doing what?
Yeah.
It's like what? You taking out what? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then it's now okay. How do I create a policy around that? How do I make sure that women are safe? How do I make sure that my citizens are safe? And not just touch on just one point where you have this whole whatever it's called Project 2025 that's been already created and already been mustered up for the whole nation to follow abide by, and you have no policies in place that you created. You don't have no agenda, and you're kind of. It almost looks like a winging it, but
Mhm.
you know what your existing policy is. That's probably why she said she didn't want to change anything, because you can always have dynamic change. And what we're dealing with is probably, excuse me, and what we're dealing with right now, and what policies we're in right now, is from what Trump put in already from his presidency. So
Yeah, but they
because
shut down some other
again,
stuff. Yeah,
everything
I mean, on both
everything
sides it
is
happens.
slow. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So everything is slow moving when you have these laws that you putting in place, and then it embraces the people, and then it touches the people later on. Even it changes the culture of the people. Even in business, you know what I'm saying? You put in
Yeah.
something this week, or whatever, it doesn't even come into fruition until 6 months, nine
Yeah.
months, a year uh,
It's
down the
like
road.
planting trees. It literally is like
Absolutely.
planting
Trees
trees.
take us 100,000, 100 years to get big.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
exactly. That's that. And that's what I see. And I wish there was more preparedness, even from, like, again, how you said, Jeff, even from the Democratic Party. I'm not big on parties. I don't really care, but I care for the people. But for the Democratic Party to have something that combats what they think, what they don't agree with in Project 2025, unless they also agree with it.
Yeah.
Period. Because I
Um,
know they read it.
I do want to say this. I think to both of your points, Omari, that yes, the American people, they don't look down the road. They look at what's immediate. They look at what's happening. And so I think that is to the detriment of Kamala's campaign, because she is a part of that Biden regime, right? And so yes, these things that aren't affecting them immediately, these things that they want to put in place that aren't affecting them immediately, that they want them to look at, but there are some things that have been put into place by the Biden administration that is currently happening. And although she wanted to separate herself from those things, she was not able to. And you don't have the luxury to, because you are the vice president, you are the second in command. So it's like, oh, you're not debating Trump, you're debating me. No, I'm debating. I'm debating Biden, and I'm debating you. I'm debating what Biden put in place, and you were there for everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She made it a point to say she had a hand in everything that was put out there. So like that's if that's not a
Yeah. So
stamp
do we
on.
really want 4 more years of everything that you putting out there, and now you at the helm of it as well? They want to see something completely different. What people have seen, and whether it may be true or not, the rhetoric is we had more money under Trump. People feared us as a nation under Trump. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that people are looking at. They're looking at the aesthetics and what made in the illusion of happiness and the illusion of the American dream, as opposed to maybe what might be best for them 8 years down the road. That's why we still got the ozone layer the way that it is, because people don't care about the next generation. They care about what's happening right now. That's why we got global warming. People care about what's happening right now. They saw that no matter what was happening, Trump was getting stuff done right then and there. I remember literally first day that man had a stack of papers and he was signing.
Yeah. Listen,
I will never
I
forget that.
I
You know what I
know
mean?
I know it's hyperbolic most of the time, but I literally
Nah,
had
that
more
was
money.
literally
No,
happening.
I know. I was making a point for me that
Okay.
that was actually happening.
Yes.
I know being hyperbolic, most people say like, yeah, I had more money under Trump. I actually did because I get money from the VA, and
Hmm.
because of certain policies that uh, Biden did,
Holla at
they
him,
took.
ladies. His number is 732.
Actually, not anymore.
What is it? 848?
848.
Okay.
So
Come on, get your number out there, baddies.
It's just the area
it's just
code.
the area code. So what's called after Biden made some adjustments and sent a bunch of money to Ukraine, a lot of that funding came out of the VA's pocket because it wasn't just me, but like people were getting certain percentages, and then they got a letter out of nowhere saying, "Oh, we reclassed you something that's service connected is no longer service connected. So like that actually did affect me.
Mm.
I was not happy about it because I set my whole
Yeah.
budget up for certain stuff. Like I'm good, but I was trying to save
You
for a
took a
house.
hit.
Yeah, I took a hit. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
So what are
if it
you
happened to me,
so
I'm saying that's probably why because it had
no
to have happened to way more people.
no great point. With that said, what are y'all expecting from this impending presidency? From this convicted felon.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be a lot of pivoting.
Yeah.
There's more to come on that because he's still a convicted felon.
He about
And
to
I was he about to get that he about to get
he
that
about
up out of
to
here.
he about to pardon it. He
He
about to
about to
pardon
pardon
himself.
himself.
Yeah.
Bro,
Absolutely.
this is gonna be the
First
first
thing
time
coming in.
Sponge. But
a
also
president pardoned
First
himself.
order of
Remove.
business. First order of business.
Remove. Right.
Pardon
First,
me.
I'm not a felon.
wait,
Like I'm not.
you can stop
He
referring to me
literally
as
gonna
one
say,
right
"Pardon
now.
me." Not
I'm
excuse
gonna
me, but
just
pardon
We
me.
ain't doing nothing
I'm
until
gonna just
I'm
say
not
that.
a felon.
I
I'm
should
gonna
wait,
just
wait,
Y'all
wait,
copyright
wait,
that
crazy.
right
wait,
now.
wait,
I
wait,
Y'all
should
wait,
crazy.
wait,
copyright
wait,
that right
wait,
now
Y'all
and
wait,
think
put it
wait,
that
on the
man
wait,
care?
sticker.
wait,
He
wait,
did this just to do
wait.
that.
Listen, the first one he gonna come up there is first order of business. He go like, I don't believe that any president should be a felon. I stand by that. So with that said,
I can move on though.
Pardon me. Bam.
Pardon me.
It's going. Pardon me. It's gonna be a T-shirt. I should copyright it right now, and everybody's gonna start
yeah,
buying that junk.
yeah,
We're gonna,
yeah.
we're gonna
No,
change the
Yo,
logo.
seriously.
what about
Please.
Mark? Mock up some shirts and start
Yo,
selling
Hmm.
them to
bro.
Trump supporters. They will eat that up like hotcakes.
Eat it up.
They ain't gotta know it's you.
Absolutely.
They ain't gotta know
Are
it's
you
you.
kidding me?
You
Are
gotta
you
know
They ain't
kidding me?
gotta
I'm
know
gonna
it's
be a
you.
millionaire by next week, bro.
Yeah,
Pardon me. It's
right.
gonna be him
Pardon
pushing the
me.
door
Yeah.
open.
He about
All
to
right.
fire the entire staff that even came for him. He
I
just
think
gonna
that is
go
actually
over
on
and
the
be
docket.
like,
I think that
you,
actually is on the docket.
you,
Yeah. Oh yeah, he
oh,
said it. He
definitely
said
I,
it.
you.
Yeah, he said it.
Get
uh,
out of here.
Yeah.
but
You're
Um.
fired.
Um.
I think on the
Yep.
world stage, all jokes aside, like the second he was announced as president, Hamas ordered a ceasefire. So like it's a
But
bunch of
that's
stuff like that that's
but
about
you
to
see
happen.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there are positive things that are happening, and I think people need to take another look at his platform. I know he's a polarizing figure. I know, but I know. Speaking of hyperbole, there are things about his platform that need to be looked at. And like when you look at legal jargon, it's not always as drastic as it reads. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a Trump supporter. I didn't vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? I've never voted for Trump, but there are some things that might work out to be beneficial. There are some things in his platform that I personally agree with. There are some things that I disagree with, like in regards to like the abortion and stuff like that, that whole abortion issue. Had to look a little bit deeper into that and to understand it on a deeper level, to know like, okay, so you're not abolishing abortions. This is left up to the different states and things of that nature, and you could move to a different state in case something is happening. Because I plan on having more kids. You know what I mean? I care about my wife. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we might need to make some drastic decisions that we might not want to make, and some decisions that we might not be able to make in North Carolina or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a loving father. This is coming from someone who wants more children. You know what I mean? But this is coming from a family man. You know what I mean? This isn't coming from like some Rolling Stone that just wants to abort every baby that he comes across. That's not what that is. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I encourage people to really do your research. Stop just listening to the internet. Stop just looking at people. And I know that's crazy to say, because this is the same dude who had kids locked up overseas and stuff like that, or no, on the border of Mexico, or and stuff like that. And I'm vehemently against all of that type of stuff. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not calling him the baby, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater is what I'm saying. Yeah. He's absolutely not the baby. You know what I mean? Like he's not. the man has done some things that I do not appreciate. You know what I mean? There is and these are things that cannot be overlooked. There is a disregard for women. There is a lack of appreciation and value of women. You know what I mean? In him as a person. But I do think that we need to take another look at his campaign and why people, or his platform, and understand why people are voting the way that they are voting in spite of him. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly feel
Yeah.
like that it was more in spite of him than anything else.
Yeah. Like, we don't want you, but we don't want this more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. When we come back, we're gonna be talking about the Grammy nominations, something way lighter. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure y'all were entertained by this and were informed. I was, most definitely. Y'all did good, man. Y'all did real good. I love that. All right. We'll be right back. Yeah. Be on the lookout. Why don't you click that bell so that you can be notified, because we coming right back. Peace. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If we made you laugh, cry, or informed you on anything at all during this episode, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I personally would love to hear what you have to say. If you are already subscribed, check us out on patreon.com/Fresh Air Media and become a patron for even more content. The link is in the description. Peace.